Hello again. So today I'm going to be giving my 3 top tips for walking the Pennine Way. When I asked you what trail you've always wanted to do and you were dreaming of doing, this was one of the top ones, which was actually I'm quite impressed because it's quite a hardcore trail, and it's one of my favourite ones. I did it in stages, as you may know, over quite a few years, but some of those stages were week-long trips and so on. And I love the Pennine Way. I feel like it's off the beaten track. You don't see many people doing it. It's quite hard work, and it's not all pretty and quaint and all of that. It's wild and windswept and brackeny and moorlandy and boggy, and it's just a fantastic experience of almost wilderness. But anyway, let's get started. By the way, this picture was close to the end, probably on the last day in the Cheviots, and we were lucky. We had absolutely fantastic weather and it was beautiful, and we were so happy to be finally finishing the Pennine Way, but also quite sad as well because we'd enjoyed it so much. My first tip is gaiters. Gaiters, gaiters, gaiters. If there's one piece of equipment you need for this trail more than any other, gaiters, because of the boggy factor. So this picture was actually taken on Black Hill, which is a very infamous place on the Pennine Way, which used to be an absolute quagmire, a morass of black boggy peat that you would wade through and get sucked down into. Now it's actually got paving stones on it, so you can walk over it. And they've actually regenerated it so it's more green. But we saw this lady just heading off randomly off the path through the mud, and it was quite a dry day, so as you can see she has not got gaiters on, so she's probably not walking the Pennine Way. But seriously, Pennine Way was the walk that converted me to gaiters in the first place. You will end up really muddy, even with these paving stones that they have on it now. You're probably going to be stepping in the bog at some point, and believe me, the gaiters will save you. They're just an absolutely essential piece of kit. So gaiters, definitely. I did not buy expensive gaiters. I just literally bought the cheapest ones that I could afford at the time, and that was fine. And I often wore them with my waterproof trousers on, sometimes over the top and sometimes under, depending on what mood I was in. But yeah, definitely get gaiters. And prepare for the mental challenge is my number 2 tip, because I don't know if you're planning on doing it all in one go or in stages. Either way is absolutely fine. But there are long sections of the Pennine Way that are kind of like this picture, where there's almost like featureless moorland, which sounds horrible, but there is something really appealing and wonderful about it. And you walk on for miles and miles through this, and you may not have particularly spectacular views all the time, but it puts you in a really kind of meditative state, and you just keep going. And the Pennine Way is more of a mental challenge as well as a physical challenge, perhaps more than any other walk, because a lot of it how do I describe it? It's interesting moorland. It's the Pennines basically. It's brown. It's wild, as I say. It's windswept. It's wild. It's remote. You're not going to be seeing very many people. Very few people walk on some of these sections of the Pennine Way. It is a real challenge, but that is, all the better for it. It's great. And my third tip is when you're considering accommodation, the Pennine Way is, more than any other trail that I know of, it's really good for hostels. Probably because it was one of the first trails that was created, and a load of hostels sprang up around it. So you can base an itinerary pretty much around youth hostels, which is great. It's really handy. Sadly, a few of them are closing down or not available for individuals anymore, so just be aware of that. But yeah, you could do a lot of it hosteling, and that'll cut down your costs as well, and also support the hostels, which is a great thing to support because their ethos is really great. Helping people get into the countryside, people who can't necessarily afford it, and so on. They're just a really nice place to stay, and the wardens will have a lot of information, and they'll be able to help you and advise you on your day's walking. So those are my 3 tips for the Pennine Way. This picture was in, I think that is near Edale. I think that's near Edale, looking towards Kinder, I think, and I think the Pennine Way goes up there, I think, towards Jacob's Ladder. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. This kind of walking is not for everyone, so if you like this kind of walking, I actually really respect you for it, because it's not, as I say, it's not all pretty and all twinklingly perfect all the time. It's quite challenging, and it opens you up to all the elements of the weather and everything else. But I love that. I love the Pennine Way. It's one of my favourite walks, and if you're doing it this year, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you have a fantastic time. If you need any practical advice or motivation to get your trail organised in the next 3 weeks, then click the button below and I'll share with you what I can help you with. And I'll speak to you next time. Bye bye.